Congratulations, first of all. Last time I saw you, you were not a U.S. citizen.
But I am now.
Yes, indeed.
Yep, I'm now. I'm officially a Scottish-American person. And the reason why is because, you know, I've lived here for almost 11 years, and I've had the benefits of living in this country and all of that. And over the last few years, I thought, I want to be able to vote. I couldn't vote until I became a citizen.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody on television saying that if every single person in the nation that has said at any point, we need a change, if that person went out and actually voted for change, it'd be as simple as that, we would have it. So I thought, sign me up. So I had to study for it and everything. You have to sit a test.
Is it hard?
Well, no, you know, they kind of scare you, you know, like they give you all these real heavy-duty things. Like I learned every single one of the 26 amendments and, I mean, tons and tons of stuff. But when you go in, they kind of make it sort of easy. Like they ask stuff like, who's the vice president? I said, Mr. Potato Head. They said, correct.
You caught me off guard with a joke there.
But, you know, they ask, you know, some pretty important questions to make sure that you're familiar with the way the country is run and how to vote and how government is. But in the book that you get, where you have to study it up, they had a sample question, are you a communist? And next to the answer, they had no. They had a big exclamation mark next to no, right? So, I mean, I kind of figure, well, that means that you don't just go, no, you're supposed to go, no. You know?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, this must be like a really important question. So I kept having all my friends pop quiz me. They would just sneak things in. And I thought, when I'm not expecting it, do the communist thing, because I don't want to even hesitate, you know? I want them to know I am a Democrat, you know? No, yeah. So, anyway, I was all prepared. I kept practicing. No, definitely not. Never have been. They didn't even ask me it. Not once. So I just want to state now that I, you know, officially I'm not, with a big exclamation mark, but I am a Democrat and proud of it. And I will be voting, and you've all got to get out there and vote with us. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, while you were talking, I thought the average American probably doesn't know the answers to the questions that she had to answer, you know?
Well, y'all probably learned it way back in high school, and I mean, I crammed for the test, right? You know, I sat there and like learned it like this, and I was going into the room going 1776, you know, all the answers in my head like I was doing a school test. But I must admit that I probably even by now have forgotten some of the real statistical points. But I think that all people that are becoming citizens should study, because it is important that we understand what made the country great and why we have to stand up for our rights and all those kinds of things.
Yes. Speaking of pop quizzes, where are the sugar walls and how do you get inside them? So you didn't know. Let's talk about critics. You did
Critics?
That word makes you serious, huh? How are they?
Well, I'm not very popular with critics. I've never been extremely hip, you know. I've never been like the coolest person on the block, and I set myself up this year because I started a new craft, something new to learn. I decided that I really wanted to stretch myself and learn a bit more about acting. So I went off and I did Broadway for a year. I did Man of La Mancha with Raul Julia. So I knew before I went, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be learning in front of the public, and that means, you know, when you're taking those first steps and you're really bad, everybody was going to see me. So I thought, well, I'll handle this. But, you know, the critics, some of them were very kind, and some of them were very honest, which, you know, you can't fault them for that, because when I was rubbish, they said I was rubbish. But it's like, you know, when you're a driver, right?
Yeah.
You're learning to drive, and, you know, you passed your test, and your mom or something gives you the keys to the car, and you're driving along like this, you're feeling really cool, you're flicking your hair back and stuff, and then all of a sudden, the cops come alongside you, and you get dead self-conscious, and you think, I now look in my mirror, and then I signal, and then I change lanes, and you start driving real stiff. Well, critics are like the acting police. They come along on opening night, and you walk out and you realize the acting police are in the audience. So you start saying things like, how are you? How are you? How are you? You practice all that stuff.
Yeah.
You like get so
unnatural.
stupid. Yeah.
Yes.
So after a while, I think probably the audiences that saw me at the start saw the really bad me.
Yeah.
But once we got to New York and I'd relaxed and I wasn't caring about the acting police so much, then I really could concentrate on learning. So it was a good experience, but it's not a lot of fun reading about yourself sometimes, especially when they compare you to Barbie. I was compared to Barbie by one critic, and she came off looking better than me. So, you know.
It's a tough business.
It sure is.
Speaking of business, Bally's, Atlantic City, October 23rd, 24th, 25th. Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, October 30th, 31st, and November 1st. You can go see this lady do what the critics love to see her do.
Yeah, well, they think I'm okay doing that, so thank goodness for that.
We'll check you out.
Sheena Easton! We'll be back.